Okay, so what is it? Like 6 days? 6 days until Fujifilm announces at Photokina their rangefinder medium format. And I wanted to correct a lot of errors. Most people never use medium format. I grew up with medium format. I'm nearly certain my first camera ever was a medium format. It was a twin lens reflex. I had a Rolleiflex in a photography school and a Yashica 120 format G. I ended up owning like 4 or 5 of those various periods of time. Grew up with medium format and wanted to correct some errors. And by the way, Zack Arias made a post on Petapixel. There is an incredibly just titanic, stupid level, just brain-dead lobotomy level, unintelligent article written by an unnamed person about why didn't Fujifilm make a full-frame camera? Maybe they made a mistake making a medium format camera. Zack Arias, who I think is awesome, he's the guy with the beard that runs Dead Pixel. It's just hilarious. He made this hypothetical question and answer between a dumb person and Fujifilm, and I'm going to read that in a second. And shout out to Zack Arias for that, but it's incredibly hilarious, but also extremely educational. And I posted up something on the same ilk before I get to Zack Arias' post. I want to correct a few stupid things that I keep hearing over and over and over again. It's okay not to know. It's another thing to like wallow in ignorance. Most importantly, too, incredibly important. Fujifilm themselves, we obviously don't have numbers since none of us work for Fujifilm, unless there's like a Fujifilm exec watching this. Fujifilm themselves announced that they sold a tremendous amount of their GFX medium format cameras. And I keep hearing this same stupid comment over, it's a niche product, it's a niche product. Well, that's a fallacy. Let me correct that here in just a second. By the way, there's currently 7 Fujifilm lenses, of which the GFX lenses, i.e. the GF lenses, all the medium format cameras that Fujifilm is making, they all take the exact same lenses. 3 of the primary 6, the 63mm, the 45, and the 23, are smaller than most 35mm lenses. This is the 63mm f2.8, which is a 50mm equivalent. You take the lens and you multiply it times 0.78, you end up with the full frame equivalent. This is a pretty small lens, okay? Yeah. I heard a lot of people say incorrectly that, wow, Fujifilm's going to come out with a rangefinder camera like a big XE3, and those big old heavy-ass medium format lenses are going to be stupid hanging off the front of that camera. Well, it is reported by several sources that they're going to make a pancake 40mm, but 3 of the important lenses, and this wouldn't be the one I'd have on there permanently. I'd actually put my 45mm 2.8, which is a 35mm equivalent. These are not big lenses, nor are they heavy, okay? This is smaller than most 35mm lenses, okay? So now that we've fixed that, and all those cameras, the rangefinder, the GFX 50R, and next year's the GFX 100S, which is just the same thing as the current GFX, except with a 100 megapixel sensor in it. They all use the exact same lenses. Let's correct this niche I keep hearing this same BS over and over again. Niche product. Let's talk about some other niche products. Not too many people in the world are certified doctors of dentistry, right? So like a niche product would be a dentist chair, right? Now, more than just dentists use dentist chair. Let's roll with the analogy for a second. That would be like a niche product, but the people that actually make dental chairs like go full tilt on them 365 days a year making them. Another niche product, let's say like, what, 99% of the world doesn't drive a semi-tractor trailer, right? So like a semi-tractor trailer is a niche product, right? 99% of people, probably higher than that, don't drive a semi-tractor trailer, do they? No. They don't ever drive it. Not part of their work or anything. So, yet I think there's currently 5 companies making semi-tractor trailers. And they make them full tilt every day of the year, or virtually every day of the year. I'm sure they're off for Christmas. So this niche product crap, you just, let's cut the crap with that fallacy. Here's a hypothetical. I want to read Zack Arias' post because hilarious. I love Zack Arias. I want to have his child. Not literally. He's so funny. I think he's awesome. This is my hypothetical question to Fujifilm by a clueless person. Hey Fujifilm, and I keep hearing this all the time. Hey Fujifilm, why aren't you making full-frame cameras? And this is, now these numbers might be slightly off, but they're somewhere right there in the ballpark, right? Fujifilm's reply, because we would rather sink $5 million into research and development and have 85% of the medium format market than sink $50 million into research and development and have 5% of the overcrowded and oversaturated full-frame market. Did you get that math? I actually said this in a few videos over the past year. I said it was incredibly stupid for Fujifilm to consider because Fujifilm, their own words, a couple executives that I've talked to, one of them was representative, so he's not an exec, so an exec and a representative. And Fujifilm's not a big company. Those are the exact words of a couple people that work for Fujifilm. Most people don't realize Fujifilm, I mean the camera company, is not that big, you know? That's their words. So you think Fujifilm would be smart to like go sink $1 bazillion into a bottomless pit and wage bloody war with Nikon, Canon, and Sony in the stupid-ass, oversaturated, full-frame camera market? Dumb. So like sink $1 billion into it, not literally. Ton of money, and like, you know, at the very most, maybe far distant in the future, maybe capture 5% of the... Dumb. Dumb. The other wonderful thing about medium format, which I forgot to mention, I don't think I mentioned in another video, is that medium format cameras, not my position, it's a fact. Medium format cameras, and I made a video about this like a week and a half ago, are not meant for sports action, wildlife, and all this other crap that crop sensor cameras and full frame are meant for. Therefore, they don't need many lenses. Medium format, so when Fujifilm sought to dominate overnight, not literally overnight, but basically overnight, medium format, they also didn't have to make that many lenses. So this is, jeez, this is Zack Arias' hypothetical. The credit goes to Zack Arias for this. This is Zack Arias, a conversation between a person, a dumb person, and a Fujifilm. I'm going to try to do this in a decent voice. Not Zack Arias, because I can't imitate him. Person says, I wish Fuji would make a full-frame camera. Fujifilm replies, oh, you want a bigger sensor? Boom! Here it is, an affordable medium format camera. The person goes, no, I meant full frame. Fuji goes, we went beyond that. If you equate full frame to better quality and more, in Kai's voice, bokeh, then we have exceeded your expectations. And then the dumb person says, no, I mean like Canon and Nikon and Sony. And then Fuji replies, oh, so you want a relatively smaller company to jump into shark-infested waters that are already solidified instead of changing the game over here in the medium format world. And then the person goes, yeah, pretty much. We want better quality than crop sensors. And then Fujifilm replies, oh, so you want bigger sensors. And then the person goes, yeah, it's exactly, that's what we want, that's what we're saying. And then Fuji says, medium format, zing, better quality. And then the person says, no, we're talking about full frame. And then Fujifilm replies to this, so you want smaller sensors then? The person goes, no, we want bigger sensors. Fujifilm replies, medium format. And then the person replies, you aren't listening to what we're saying. We want full frame. And then Fujifilm gives a blank stare. And then the dumb person gives a blank stare. This is really hilarious. Zack Arias and his wonderful humor. He's like encapsulated it kind of perfectly. People say, I want bigger sensors in these crop sensors. And Fujifilm gave that to you. They leapfrogged over full frame and went to medium format. Oh no, I went full frame, not medium format. Why? And also too, anybody that says that like, you know, if you just take raw numbers as opposed to like someone's a photographic hobbyist and they don't want to blow a ton of money, it's understandable. Like, well, that's an expensive camera. But if you say that, like this, the GFX or the whatever rangefinder camera, GFXR, is expensive. Like compared to what? I love to say that. Those are my favorite words. People say, his lens is great. I go, compared to what? I was like, how many lenses have you tested? Like 10 or 12? Like I've got like 550. I tested God knows how many thousands. Compared to what? Medium format is really expensive. And the Fujifilm medium format cameras are the best made medium format cameras, or the fastest autofocus. Not that fast autofocus is important in medium format, because medium format ain't for that kind of damn photography. They're the best made, the least expensive, and the fastest autofocusing medium format cameras. It's a fact. That's not my opinion. It's a fact. So overnight, Fujifilm, BAM! Dominates medium format with, I mean, I don't know how many millions of dollars Fujifilm sunk into the research and development. I told you too when the GFX came out, and I've got all the lenses for the GFX, I said Fujifilm didn't do a bunch of R&D to make lenses for one damn camera. I told you, and I don't know which video it is, but I've said it in a few videos, like Fujifilm and making these damn medium format lenses for multiple medium format cameras. And of course, I am 100% accurate on that, as we now know, because this time next year, Fujifilm will have 3 medium format cameras. So, yeah, please don't give me this niche product. It's a niche product! Yeah, so are semi-tractor trailers, because that's probably higher than 99%. 99.9% of people don't own and don't drive for their work a semi-tractor trailer, right? To say that's a niche product. It's like, yeah, well, that niche product, I think of Volvo and Kenworth, I can't remember. There's like 5 different major manufacturers of semi-tractor trailers. There's like 5 global enormous outfits that produce balls out, just tons of semi-tractor trailers. That's a niche product too, so don't give me that niche product crap. You know, because it is. It's just like, let's cut the crap. I can't remember what movie that's from. Someone could tell. Cut the crap. Hey, niche product. Niche? Yeah. Rolexes are a niche product too. I used to have a nice Rolex. Rolexes are a niche product. You know what Rolex does? They go balls out making those watches. They cannot keep them in stock. For like the past 20, 30 years, it just, you know, people say, well, it's expensive. Yeah, well, they make a lot of them, and they can't make them fast enough. You know, I know there's a lot of handiwork in making them and all that stuff. I don't know how long it takes to make a Rolex, but Rolex goes balls out making Rolex. That's a niche watch. Not too many people wear Rolex. So what? You know, overnight, essentially, Fujifilm became the Rolex of medium format. Now, I got a question for you. I want you to answer it. I mean, the answer is obvious. Name another camera company, any of them, that within the period of time Fujifilm first rolled out their medium format camera, their first one, to the middle of next year. You know, it has a span, what, 3.5 years there? 2.5 years, right? Somewhere right around there. Name another company, photography company, that just like dominated an entire arena of photographic equipment, just like dominated it. Built their little kingdom, and I can't think of one. Doesn't exist. Oh, I just answered the question. Excuse me. Well, you answer it for me. Name another company that did that. Someone's going to put down below, you're just a fuss, you're just a Fuji fanboy. Yeah, I'm a fanboy of quality. You know? Do you know how much a Mamiya Leaf costs? That old, crusty, medium format camera. Do you know how much the lenses for that camera cost? The Fujifilm is way cheaper. Much faster autofocus, superior build quality, superior ergonomics. Far, 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 far cheaper. Do you know how much a Mamiya Leaf and like 1 or 2 lenses cost for that camera? That old, crusty, outdated camera. Do you have any idea? Actually, it dropped a bunch in price, but that's only because of the Fujifilm. Priced that camera from like a year and a half ago, right when the GFX came out, priced that camera at that point. Don't give me this, they say, that's expensive. Compared to what? Compared to other medium format cameras? Let's see, it's way cheaper, it's way faster, far better build quality. Gee, well that sounds like a downside, doesn't it? And Fujifilm. If you like these videos, you can always click the link below. You know, make a small donation, tell me to jump off a cliff, whatever makes you happy, whatever pets your pickle. Thank you. Bye. This is not a big lens. No, it's not.